What's up, guys? NBA Talk. Today's August 7th, 2018, Tuesday basketball for you. It is extremely hot, like 92 in New York here. The sun is not even out, but I can feel it in here. Like I'm sweating. So be mindful of this because I'm gonna be sweating like crazy. I'm gonna create a lake in my room. So this video is basically the Western Conference predictions, just like I did in my last video, the Eastern Conference. Now we're doing the Western Conference because we need to put a video out here. We need to do something, you know. And I know it's too early for that, but I'm just basing this off of basically what I've seen in this off season. So let's get into it a little bit more quicker this time. First team up, which is going to be the #1 team in the Western Conference, that will be the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, because they're the defending champs, and I believe they will have the best record once again. Like I would say around, like on the margin of 60 wins, because I think the Boston Celtics are going to have a better record than the Golden State Warriors, because it's a lot more tougher now in the Western Conference now. Like, it is more beefy now. It is more beefy. All the teams, at least majority of the teams, got a lot better over the course of this game. Well, in certain areas, that is, because we need to talk about the Houston Rockets next. The Golden State Warriors, yeah, they got their core. They got Kevin Durant, they got Stephen Curry, they got Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, you know, all that, Andre Iguodala. They acquired DeMarcus Cousins, but keep this in mind, he won't be ready until January. So this opens a gate for a lot of these Western Conference teams to really beat down the Golden State Warriors, because I believe for the next 2 seasons, including the off seasons, we're going to see the trouble in paradise for Golden State Warriors really bad. This is going to really test their mettle. This is going to test their status in the NBA world, like how on top they're going to be on. Because I think injuries are going to be a big part of this, and contracts are going to be a big part of this, because Klay Thompson's contract is coming up, and also Draymond Green's contract is going to be there up for the next year after. So injuries are going to be a problem, so that's why I say it's going to be like on the margin of 60 wins, maybe even like 59, 58, somewhere there, because they're not going to get as much wins as they used to. They're going to decline a little bit. But I put them above the Houston Rockets, who are #2, because they lost a lot on the defensive end. Because I think they're going to definitely drop all the way to almost around the edge of top 10 in the defense, because I think Chris Paul could still muster this team to be better. They got Clint Capella, so they got some defense back. They got PJ Tucker, who could defend players as well. The loss of Trevor Ariza is going to be a big blow, but they're going to get Carmelo Anthony, so their offense is going to pick up a notch if Carmelo Anthony can play well. That remains to be seen. Next, we have the Utah Jazz, #3. And this is my sleeper team in the Western Conference, because they're going to definitely be a top 3 in defense, and they're going to be a problem in the playoffs. They are the old Memphis Grizzlies. You do not want to go up against them in the playoffs, by no means, because they're going to wear you down. They're stacked defensive-wise. They added that boy Garrison Allen, who is pretty much a troublemaker. Like, he's the Della Dova of the Utah Jazz. He's gonna cause problems. And you already have that boy Ingles. I'm trying to see his name, Joe Ingles, who was a problem for Paul George in the Oklahoma City fight. And of course you have Jay Crowder as well. Of course we have Donovan Mitchell. The guy is a stud. He's definitely going to be a top scorer in the league. He's going to fight for that scoring position, because he's the main scorer. Not much over here that are scorers, so that's going to be a problem throughout the season scoring the ball. We got to see what's going to happen. Can Rudy Gobert, who is a top 3 in centers, he's a great defensive big guy, but can he be an offensive player too? We'll see what happens there. So that's the 3rd spot for the Utah Jazz. The 4th spot will be the Oklahoma City Thunder. Paul George, Russell Westbrook match, a very good match. Without Carmelo Anthony messing up the chemistry, I think they're more of a connection. Russell Westbrook and Paul George. They added a couple people like Nerlens Noel, who has a lot to improve. But he could definitely be a defensive player for this team. Like he could stop players, which is absolutely good for this team. They're gonna get Robinson, or what's his name? Andre Robertson. Yeah, he's coming back from that injury. Hopefully he's okay to play again, like he used to. Because I'm not sure if it was the ACL or Achilles. If it was Achilles, then that's a wrap. They got Patrick Patterson for 3-point shooting. They were able to keep Jeremiah Grant, who's been improving as a player. They got back Raymond Felton, who was a decent backup point guard. They also got Dennis Schröder, who's going to be that primary backup point guard. So you got some scoring there. So they did a little good stuff right there and there. So they're up there for sure. Top 5 for sure. We have the LA Lakers next. Of course, LeBron James make all the teams better. Yeah, LeBron James, he improves that team just being there. Rajon Rondo, he spreads the floor, even though there's going to be a problem with the guard positions. Like overall, Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, who else? Josh Hart. Then you have KCP. You have Alonzo Ball. Who else? Yeah, I think that's it. But that's a lot of guards. That needs a lot of minutes. And then you have the forwards, not that much. Brandon Ingram, of course, LeBron James, Luol Deng, if he could play, like they need to play him. They can't just have him on the sidelines all the time. And also they got Michael Beasley. The only place where they're not as strong is the center position. With JaVale McGee there, he could be decent, but you can't rely on him. And then you got Zubac, that dude, that backup center, who's decent, but they don't put enough effort into him, so I can't see that much from him. You have the Denver Nuggets, who are the most deep roster in the game, in my opinion, because they got a lot of people in there, and they got Michael Porter Jr., who could be a top player in the future. I underestimate the Nuggets before. I'm not going to underestimate them now. So they're definitely getting that spot. So that's 6 spots already. Then you have, well, actually, yeah, I think that's the 6th spot. And then you have the Timberwolves at the 7. Jimmy Butler makes this team better. Without him, they're not a playoff team. You better pray to God that he stays with this team. If he doesn't, they're out of the playoffs. Because last year was the first time they made the playoffs in so long. Not in the Kevin Love era. Not with just the Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns era. Where Jimmy Butler came in there with Tom Thibodeau and all that. They became a playoff team. And they dropped hard when Jimmy Butler went down for a good amount of games. And they were a top 5 team in the Western Conference. When he went down, that was that. Then you have the San Antonio Spurs, who acquired DeMar DeRozan, got rid of Kawhi Leonard in the situation there. They definitely improved offensively. They will maintain a defensive structure there. Danny Green will be missed, so that's a big problem. You have DeMar DeRozan. You still have Ginobili, whatever he could give you. That boy Murray at the point guard position, who could play some good defense. LaMarcus Aldridge, of course, and then you got Paul Gasol, who is way out of his prime. It is what it is. They're definitely getting that last spot. And then you have the Pelicans. I believe that Rajon Rondo impact was great, and without him, they're gonna drop because they don't have that. They don't have that point guard that could just dish out the ball to everybody else to get everybody involved, to get Mirotic involved, get Julius Randle involved. Ethan Payton is a good pickup because he's a very good defensive player, but he doesn't seem to have that passing ability as much. Well, maybe because I think he averages like 5 to 6. Maybe I think he has like 7 assists last season. He could be decent, but Rajon Rondo's passing was elite, and there's gonna be a lot of load on AD, and I don't see them making the playoffs. I don't see the Clippers making the playoffs, even though they're a deep roster. They will be a troublemaker, but they'll be in the playoffs. They won't be in the playoffs. The Blazers will make the playoffs, and that's a hard pill to swallow. That's my team. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum can't carry this team by themselves, and they have no way of improving this team, so they're dropping. Mavericks are going to be on a come up for the next couple of years. Like, they will slowly build themselves up. It will take them a while to do so. The same thing for the Suns. It will take them a while to get themselves up to the top. The Grizzlies are going to fall off because I think Marc Gasol is going to be in the decline. Mike Conley is going to be on the decline. So that's there. And the Kings, like, they don't have no structure whatsoever. So they're going to be last. They're going to be definitely number 2 overall in the draft next year. So that's it. That's my lineup. So my playoff teams for the Western Conference: Warriors, Rockets, Jazz, Thunder, Lakers, Denver Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Spurs. I believe that's the correct order. Yes. So that's it. Look at the description below to see the lineup. I should have said that earlier in the video. So there you have it. Leave your thoughts below.